Our next presenter is Renee Fortier, the Executive Director of UCLA Events and Transportation, to give us a more in-depth look at what UCLA is doing for biking. Which one is yours? This one? The bike's yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to give you a little bit of background about what we have done, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what we have planned. UCLA Transportation has been working towards creating a more bike-friendly campus since 2005. At that time, we realized that UCLA needed to better support cycling as a valuable and desirable transportation alternative that helps both the environment and is very good for health and well-being. So before 2005, we had inadequate bicycle parking on the campus. We didn't have any secure bicycle parking. There was no bike center. There were no bicycles for rental use. There was no shower access for employee commuters, and very little safety awareness or recognition that bikes are a legitimate part of campus mobility, and we had no plan to improve it either. So in 2005, we started to work on a bicycle master plan, and we completed that plan in 2006. And its aim was to improve the cycling conditions and promote the bicycle as a transportation mode to and from campus. Now, I'll talk a little bit about what we've been able to accomplish with the plan. First of all, we, as Jack alluded to, have doubled the amount of bicycle parking on the campus. We went from a little over 1,500 to a little over 3,000 spaces, and we also improved the type of bike racks in the process. We also worked with Culture and Recreational Affairs because we saw that there was a really good intersection between transportation and health and an opportunity to work together to promote cycling. So we funded jointly with Culture and Recreational Affairs the Community Bike Center, which, as most of you know, is located in the Wooden Center. And it provides lending tools and technical help. It also hosts quarterly bike safety and maintenance workshops. In addition, we worked with CRA to create a joint funded position to manage the bike shop. And we created also with them a cyclist passport. So instead of having to buy a full rec membership, employees could buy a pass which would provide them shower access to enable them to feel much more comfortable commuting. And the Community Bike Center is also home of the Bike Library. This is a project we were very excited. We got funding 2 years from the TGIF funds to create. There are 90 bikes in the library. It's a very popular program. The bikes are checked out within hours every quarter. And also, we created a departmental bicycle program. 27 departments have taken advantage of this. This is a program to get employees to use bicycles to do errands midday instead of taking a car. It reduces midday vehicle trips and promotes a healthy, active lifestyle. We started the Bruin Commuter Club last year, and bicyclists who register their bicycles with the National Bike Registry are eligible to become members of the Bruin Commuter Club. The first benefit of this, which is already in place for cyclists, is a discounted daily parking for days that you need to come to campus by driving. So it's $5 a day instead of the normal $11 a day. And we're adding a new benefit. The new benefit we're adding starting next year is a $50 voucher system, which will be redeemable for a variety of things that you can choose. So it could be a light set, could be a tune-up that you get at the bike center. And starting July 1st, the commuter passport for showering is going to be free to users. Transportation is going to pick up the cost and reimburse Cultural Recreational Affairs for that. We've also done a lot on bicycle safety, a lot more to do, but we started this past year. with a Give Me 3 campaign, similar to the one that the City of LA did. But you probably saw the graphics on the back of our buses as public service announcements. We've also added Share the Road signs on a lot of our campus roads and added a lot more Share markings to the roads. Another area that we've been working on is what we see as probably the #1 obstacle to people commuting to and from UCLA, and that's the lack of safe pathways to the campus. So we've been working to try to influence the city, the county, et cetera, to put in more bike paths. We sent a letter to Councilman Koretz in support of the Los Angeles bicycle plan, giving the routes that we thought needed to be given a priority coming to UCLA. And this just shows you the letter that we sent. And I'm happy to say, I think it was just on the news yesterday, that the county has adopted a bike plan for unincorporated areas as well, and will be adding over the next 20 years over 800 miles of bike routes. So that's really a good thing that just happened. We also are working with other jurisdictions like Caltrans on the 405 widening project. We got initial plans of what they were planning to do, and we saw that they weren't planning to do anything to upgrade the underpasses on the freeways. So we gave our input as a public agency and asked them to improve the bicycle and pedestrian safety, and requested physical treatments and lighting upgrades at the underpasses, and we're pleased to say that they are going to make those. We have similar efforts which we're underway with the Expo Line Construction Authority. Our focus here is on the bike pathway along Expo and the bike parking at the Westwood Boulevard station. We also have community building efforts. You've probably seen we have a web presence for bicyclists on our transportation website, a cyclist corner on the Be a Green Commuter blog, and we do Bike to Campus Week events, including pit stops, raffles, giveaways, etc. And we had a really fun event and great event this last year. There was a change in university policy on the disposition of abandoned property that had a worth of under $300, and that gave us the opportunity to recycle. And that was fantastic. 300 people attended the event. We gave away almost 100 bicycles. Just about every part that was there was given away too. So we intend to make this an annual event.
That's great.
We also just received, the campus did, a donation from Sanyo North America of 25 e-bikes. And these are going to go primarily to the residence halls. As Jack mentioned, it's a pretty hilly campus, so these electric-assisted bikes are going to help promote cycling among residence hall students, and they'll also be really great for mixed-flow traffic on campus as well. And as Jack also mentioned, we got a bicycle-friendly university designation. Since we were one of only 26 campuses in the nation, we were very proud of that, given that we do have a challenging and very dense environment here on the campus. So now I want to talk about coming attractions. We have bike lockers on the campus, but the system that they work on doesn't work all the time. Isn't always reliable. So we're going to be going to new smart card bike lockers. So that'll be an improvement for those who really want to secure their bikes well. We're also working with our vendor who does the carpool matching for the campus to do a bike buddy application, and this will allow people to sign up to pair up with somebody who might be coming on a parallel similar route to the campus. Really should be helpful for new bike commuters to feel more comfortable in cycling. We're also going to be doing additional bike safety training this coming year, working with the Sustainable Streets, which is a nonprofit organization. And we're going to be doing more infrastructure improvements, more bike racks, more bike repair stands. We installed the first of them this past year, you may have seen, so we're going to put in more. We're adding more sharrows to the roadways and more Share the Road signs on campus. And we've talked to the City of LA, and they have agreed to provide more sharrows around campus as well. More coming attractions. We plan to put a bike channel along the Ackerman steps. It's quite a grade change between the Court of Sciences and the Ackerman Plaza area, and this will enable cyclists to get their bicycles up and down a lot easier, because the only other alternative really is cycling up Charles Young Drive up the hill, and that's pretty steep hill. So this is going to really be a benefit, I think. We're also may do in the future something like this bicycle counter that you see. This one happens to be in the city of Copenhagen, and it makes everybody more aware of cyclists and how many there are. So we think that's pretty neat. One that we're going to start next year working on is a bike hub pilot. We will start with a few hubs on the campus, but this is similar to what you might have seen in cities like Paris or Washington, D.C., or several other cities around the world, where you can rent a bike at one hub, drop it off at another hub. This is really going to help us to get people who may not be as comfortable or haven't cycled in a while to use bicycles. It will help build the bicycle community, build the critical mass, and also, again, cut down on midday automobile trips. And finally, the last thing is we are going to do an engineering review to look at slowing down vehicle traffic on some of the higher speed campus street segments. The prime one that we're going to look at first is the segment of Strathmore between Gailey and Westwood Plaza. We want to make it more bicycle friendly, more pedestrian friendly, and we really want to make the message when you come onto this campus that pedestrians and bicycles are first and cars second, and cars need to slow down and watch out. So with that, I'm going to close it. So thank you.